principal of Mdelwa-Hlongwane Primary School, the school that was entertaining just now. With me here is my partner in crime, Ms. Pumla Chabalala. So together we are going to tell you about our experience during the PFP partnership. About myself, as I've said, I'm Sibongile Khoza. I can tell myself as a born teacher with a passion in education. I love teaching. As I said, that giving a chance in as far as impacting on learners, I think I would rather choose to be in class than to be in the office, because I believe for us to make a change, we really depend on teachers. So the teacher in me wants to be more in the class than in the office. I've been a principal for 11 years at the same school. During my period at the school, I've tried to impact or to bring so many positive changes to the school. One highlight of it is that when I started at Mdelwa-Hlongwane was a very small school, a school from grade 1 to grade 4. But during my period, I've managed to turn Mdelwa-Hlongwane into a senior primary school, starting from grade R to grade 7, with 984 learners presently. Why did I join the program? To be honest, I was introduced by one of our district officials who introduced the project and told me that they need principals for development. So when one of the ladies, I just forgot the name, phoned me after my name was suggested to her by the district official, she phoned me and she explained about the program. And during our discussion, I thought that this was something that will help me, because it was at a time where I really needed it, because I was, as a leader, there are times where you really feel that you are in a box. You no longer know what you are doing, whether it is right or wrong. So it was during that time, and I needed to sort of bring some change in how I was leading the school. Another reason for me to join was that when I was told that you get a chance of mixing with business partners, I had this edge of running a school, because I believe that if our schools can be run like businesses or corporate, then we can take our schools to greater heights. And fortunately, that was when I was introduced to Pumla, who happens to be a former learner of Mdelwa-Hlongwane Primary.
Good morning, everybody. So I currently work for the same company as Tabelo, called Innovation Group. I'm a managing executive, and I look after the contact center, about 350 people. So I can understand when you say you're dealing with a volume of people and how challenging they can be. In terms of who I am, I'm really passionate about people. I'm passionate about our young people and how we can, we can coach them and train them and support them to be the best that they can. I really believe that we all wake up with so much potential. It's how we tap into that potential and allow people to realize who they can be. So PFP was introduced via our CEO. He was a partner 3 years ago. And I decided that, I'm tired of standing on the sidelines and complaining, rather get involved and be the change that you want to see. So when Dina initially called me and they were trying to pay me with a school, and she was like, I've got a school for you in Soweto. I was like, Soweto's so far away, I don't live near there, I don't work near there, please don't do that to me. And she was like, please just come and meet the principal. So the day of the launch, when I arrived, I saw one of the name tags said Mdelwa-Hlongwane, and I said, oh, I went to that school there when I was really young in primary school. And like, you see, that's your principal. I was like, no. Now I definitely can't say no. So that's how we came about. It felt like it was fate, it was meant to be, in terms of us building this relationship.
Yes, and about our school, Mdelwa-Hlongwane, we had a lot of challenges. Among the challenges that we had, the first one, top on list, was lack of parental support. Like most of our colleagues who can attest to this, that in most of our schools, parents are not that supportive. So we had this challenge, and together with our SGBs, our SGBs, our SGB is willing to help, but through the parents who are not willing to support, you find that we also experience problems here and there. Another one was the conflicts in the SMT. We had a problem, especially since last year. We had some conflicts between the SMT itself, but through the partnership, Pumla came in very handy, because I would have a soundboard where I would talk to Pumla, and she would be able to advise and to help. Another one is the shaking team. We have different teams at schools who are working, but you would find that when there are conflicts, people are not that eager to follow the suggestions that are made. High numbers of learners who experience barriers in learning was also another factor that poses as a challenge to the school. But as we carried along during our partnership, I would go to her, get some advices, share with the team, especially during our co-ops. That is where you would come with your challenges and you're like, my goodness, I'm not the only one who is experiencing this. So through that, our challenges we got to find some solutions to them. But as we carry on, you will hear how we sort of solved them.
So as formally educated, we spent a lot of time for me to really understand the dynamics in the school, some of the challenges. I think, as she said, she hadn't had that soundboard for someone who she could talk to and share some of these challenges and some of the ideas, and then we shared some of the ideas in terms of how she could overcome them. I attended some staff meetings so I could observe Spongile and her teachers, and through that we came up with some suggestions in terms of how the meetings could be run more effectively, what kind of interventions that she could do in terms of holding the teachers more accountable for their learners' performance, as well as becoming more action-orientated. So rather than talking about issues, it's about how we go to fix those issues and who's responsible for fixing those issues, and therefore hold people accountable. So it's not a matter of all of these problems are for Spongile to handle and for her to fix, but the teachers get involved, become part of the solutioning, and also part of making sure that they are able to overcome these issues and really action what they're committed to. Some of the things we've also done is, like Tabelo, we went to school, planted some trees, was awesome, engaged with the kids. I went with some of my staff members, and it was really an awesome day. Some of the things we're planning to do is more training for her staff. So those are some of the interventions we're going to support. And going next, what did you learn?
What I learned from the partnership, firstly from my partner, Pumla, I learned commitment. She is a very committed person, committed in her work. And each time we would discuss, when she tells me stories about her office, I would get some hint of how to solve some of my personal problems. Her assertiveness, she's a very assertive person, where at times she came too strongly, but that taught me a thing or two in how to deal with people. A very good listener. I once indicated in one of our co-ops that when I met Pumla, when I spoke to her, she would just look at me, and I would expect her to say something. And at some point I would think, am I still saying something that makes sense or what? But as we attended workshops like the Time to Think, I learned that that's one important thing when you talk to a person, to just listen and wait for a chance to reply or to give your contribution. So that is one of the things that I learned from Pumla, to be a good listener, which is what now I am practicing with my peers. What I learned for myself about during the partnership, I learned to adapt to change. I'm this type of a person who, it takes me, you have to convince me thoroughly for me to change my opinion. But through talking to her, I've learned that I should give some things a chance. It doesn't mean that whatever I am saying can be correct. I've learned from our workshops that we have done during the partnership that listening to other people, you can learn a thing or two. Another thing is multitasking. I've learned to multitask during the program, which is one thing that I think I will take back to my work.
Just to end off, I just want to say thank you to Spogile and her team. She's been hugely supportive. The big lesson for me is to say, as the public, it's very easy for us to stand on the outside looking in and criticize what's happening in terms of the education system. But if we don't get involved, we can't be the change that we want to see.
And you've been very patient with us. You know, we've been through a lot, but thank you so much. I personally learned a lot, especially when Puma took us to her place of work. That's where I could see the difference between what we are doing at our offices, in our offices, and their office. So thank you very much.